With the half-cent sales tax set to expire in 2005, time was running out for new transportation funding. Dennis Smith, a critical part of MAG since 1976, had just been named executive director. He knew getting support of voters meant learning from the '94 defeat.
There's a saying, from failure comes great wisdom. So even though we lost that election, we learned so much from losing that when we went in 2004, we corrected all of those mistakes.
The first order of business, drafting a new regional transportation plan.
In addition, it was determined that we really needed a separate committee that just looked at transportation, and that's how the Transportation Policy Committee came into being.
Former Phoenix Mayor Skip Rimza, just coming out of Phoenix's successful Transit 2000 election, recommended that MAG expand its policy process to include not only elected officials, but business representatives as well. Queen Creek Mayor Wendy Feldman Kerr became chair of MAG just as the TPC was being created.
So by bringing the businesses into the fold and being on the committee, we could also talk about infrastructure and how it was going to impact the valley and how we would get all of it done as a whole.
The TPC included 6 members representing regional business. The structure was later formalized in state law.
Because we couldn't get anything done without the business community, without the real true stakeholders. So that partnership was really important and wouldn't have happened without them.
The TPC also knew the plan needed to address many different needs.
Our friends in the West Valley needed freeway capacity, desperately needed freeway capacity. Our friends in the East Valley needed the freeway capacity, but also were interested in multimodal transportation and including something for urban transit, light rail, more buses, bicycles.
The new plan allocated a third of the revenues to public transportation. The public also had seen the progress of Prop 300. The Loop 101 and major portions of the Red Mountain Freeway were completed. The Santan was under construction.
At the same time, many of the management practices we put into place to better manage the program really, I think, gave the public a lot more confidence in our ability to deliver what we say we can.
There also was a greater focus on public participation. In all, MAG conducted more than 400 input opportunities with stakeholders and the public. Many of these were led by the elected officials in their own communities.
One of the things we felt strongly about was getting the public involved and understanding where we were going with this, why we were choosing the projects that were being chosen to be included in Prop 400, and then how important it was for them to get out and vote positively for it.
And when the opposition called a press conference, 6 Valley mayors crashed it, leading to a heated debate between Mayor Scruggs and businessman David Thompson.
There was this towering man who I'd never heard of or met before, who was just very active still in some strong anti-tax movements, and he was just outrageous. I just had to speak up.
Voters went to the polls November 2nd, 2004. Prop 400 passed by a solid margin of 58 to 42%. Another milestone in MAG's 4th decade also has had lasting impact. In 1998, a young mother was stabbed to death in front of her children due to a lack of space in domestic violence shelters. The community was stunned. MAG formed the Regional Domestic Violence Council to bring together governments, law enforcement, prosecutors, and nonprofit groups to prevent such tragedies.
That was really an eye-opener, I think, for many of our elected officials, for many of our staff, for people who were involved with the committee, because we didn't realize the extent of the problem.
The council was soon working with everyone from employers to hospitals to law enforcement to develop best practices for dealing with domestic violence. MAG also continued to define best practices in air quality, in 1997 dealing with a new and tougher ozone standard, and in '99 working on a new dust plan to stave off threatened sanctions by the EPA. The revised plan was approved by the EPA in 2002. In 2005, the EPA redesignated the region to attainment for carbon monoxide. MAG Environmental Director Lindy Bauer says the success in controlling these pollutants is the result of sustained efforts over the years.
Under the Clean Air Act, one air quality plan builds upon another. We have been very fortunate to have such a wide variety of control measures in place. Taking a look at the air quality trend data, the numbers keep coming down.
Other successes ranged from the launch of the Freeway Service Patrol to help stranded motorists, to putting quiet pavement on all major valley freeways. The Don't Trash Arizona program began, and MAG adopted model ordinances ranging from curfews to graffiti. It had been an extraordinary decade, but soon the economy would falter. MAG would find a new role in economic development to help grow the region and the state.